Hi, let's review Irugapatru today. So, Irugapatru means hold tight. It is a Tamil movie. It's a romantic drama basically, and it is directed by Yuvraj Thayaran. And the film stars Vikram Prabhu, Shraddha Srinath, Vidarth, Shri, Abarnathi, and Sania Ayyappan. So this movie is was released in October of this year, but I recently saw it and I actually felt there were certain positive points and certain um, critical points that I thought I could highlight. And it is actually a big box office success. And it is so the director and the writer Yuvraj has made a good attempt to show the various relationship dynamics that develop in marriage. So this is about a marriage counselor who has certain complications in her own marriage, and how she also helps other couples with their own issues, and at the same time it helps her or brings those issues to her own life, and also how helping others sometimes does help her also is what is portrayed in this movie. So there are two unhappy couples that she is trying to save the marriage of. So one is about a couple where the woman has recently had a baby, and so she has put on weight post pregnancy, and her husband doesn't feel any attraction towards her anymore. So he keeps asking her to work out, and he's just not satisfied because she's not very serious about losing weight and working out. So he decides that he wants a divorce, and no matter what how she pleads him, requests him to change his mind, but it does not work in her favor, and he is not ready to change his mind. So it's kind of a shallow problem, but it is a problem that is explored in the movie, and it is a common problem, and it does happen in a lot of couples. So that is a good attempt, I would say. It's a good realistic story. And how later on the woman slowly herself decides to change herself and work out for her own health, and with the help of counselor decides that there is no point in trying to force someone to stay with you if they are not interested, and just agrees for whatever his terms are, and goes forward to with the mutual consent divorce, is something that is explored in the movie. And how seeing her change and become a more confident woman and become physically fit, and she slowly becomes really more attractive to him, and he gets more attracted towards her and her beautiful heart to help her husband out when he loses his job with her own savings, is what finally touches his heart. And when finally she wins a championship of her gym, he hugs her, and they reunite together. So this is a very beautiful story explored. The husband is sort of, I would say, a little shallow, but then he slowly changes, sees how earnest she is in her love, and how it's a very big mistake on his part to lose a woman who is so good with a heart of gold, ready to help him unconditionally. And finally, he breaks down, and it is shown very beautifully in the movie. And then we have the marriage counselor helping another couple where the husband and wife are working. Initially, the wife was not working because husband wasn't very comfortable with it, but later on he is okay with it. And then he says, when we begin to trying to have a baby, you can probably resign. And once she's working, she's not happy with her marriage because she feels her husband is very critical of her. He keeps calling her dumb and all that, which she doesn't like, and he kind of gets angry at the smallest of things and becomes very critical. But the husband doesn't understand this, he doesn't see this issue. So it kind of puzzles him, like, why is she wanting to get separated from me? Why is she so upset? He keeps harrowing her to tell the reason, but she just is not someone who is able to openly communicate her feelings. So she decides to uh, get away from him finally. She just wants a divorce. And when he approaches this marriage counselor, she decides to help them. And eventually they could not be saved because they were like in a bad place. He is very critical because but the marriage counselor does point out that it is your own ego that is not able to take the intellectual capability, the high intellectual capability of your wife. It makes you feel less than in some areas of your life. And that is why you are so critical of her and keep shouting at her. and this causes a lot of discomfort in the relationship, and finally they decide to go for a mutual consent divorce. But out of their love for each other, whether they get the divorce or not is something for us to find out. And at the same time, the marriage counselor, applying all these techniques in her own personal life, has a very strange personal life where she does not allow a lot of anger, a lot of emotions to be actually rawly represented in her personal life. And this kind of bothers her husband in a lot of ways, but this does not cause any breakup per se. But finally, when the husband sees that the wife is actually following an app to give him all kinds of surprises and small things of everyday life, which she does, is coming through an app, he gets really hurt because he feels it should come from her heart, but not from an app. And he feels like she is very mechanical towards him. She does not feel any emotions like jealousy. She does not feel possessiveness towards him, any anger. She does not show that she truly loves him. It is very mechanical. She's app based. She's using technology to stay close to him. So he feels like that reality and the true love is not there. And then towards the end we see whether how they rediscover their love, how he understands whether she is mechanical or robotic in her feelings or she is genuine. So that is something that we need to find out by watching the movie. So I think it's a great attempt to explore relationships, modern relationships. These are the common stories of everybody's life nowadays, and it is not every romantic story that is shown in a movie has to be about extremely major, huge issues which can never be resolved. These kind of small issues and areas of life, when repeatedly hammered on in our daily lives, can also become a major problem and can cause couples to separate these days. So that is what is explored in the movie. Initially, maybe 50 years back, if the husband kept calling his wife dumb, it was acceptable. But today, the wife is not ready to take it. So, how does she handle this kind of situation is what is explored in the movie. So these kind of small things make a big difference in relationships, and it kind of helps today's generation to see these movies and relate to them, and then maybe learn from these movies or implement certain ideas shown in the movie. So I think it's a very beautiful attempt. I wouldn't say it's a very romantic movie. I would say it is something which a lot of people will connect with. It is a story of everybody's daily life. There is nothing fancy or over glamorous in the movie. It's a slice of life kind of a movie. So I do think it's a very good movie and something that you should enjoy. But yeah, if you're expecting some real major relationship problems, and you might wonder why these couples are fighting for such inane issues. If you're the kind of person who doesn't see these problems as problems of high gravity, so yeah, you should probably, in that case, you may be disappointed, but otherwise it's a good watch, and I would definitely urge you to watch this movie. It's available on OTT as well. So please give it a watch and enjoy. It's a really nice. And please do subscribe to my channel and share your comments about how you think we can discuss on certain other movies, and let me know your views on this movie.